Hello, my friends. It is good to see you again. Let me ask you something. Have you ever helped somebody knowing you were not supposed to? Knowing if somebody found out, could you get in trouble for it? But at that moment, it just felt like the right thing to do. I have been there. There was a woman who used to come into the center, middle-aged, quiet, respectful. Her name was Lisa. She was part of the AA meetings they held downstairs. One day, she peeked her head into my classroom. She looked around, saw the machines, the students working, and her face lit up. She said, "I love to sew." I asked her a few questions, and you could tell right away she knew what she was saying. She knew her fabric, her stitches, how things were supposed to come together. So I told her, "The class is free. All you have to do is fill out an application." She came back, and she did just that. Now, at that time, she was the oldest student in the room, but she fit right in. Calm, patient, steady. Some of the younger students even started looking at her like someone they could learn from. She had that kind of presence. But there was something else. You could see it. Now and then, her hands would shake, just enough to make things harder than they should have been. Threading the needle, guiding the fabric, finishing a clean line. Things she clearly knew how to do. But her body would not always cooperate. And I could see it on her face. She was frustrated and embarrassed. And now and then, she would catch me noticing, and I would look away, because I did not want to make that moment heavier than it already was. She was trying. That part you could not miss. The first time she came to me, she asked for a little help. She told me it was hard trying to find a job, because her past had caught up with her, and it was making it difficult for anyone to give her a chance. She said she just needed a little help with groceries, just to get by. And I knew right then I was stepping into something I was not supposed to. But I also saw her. So I told her to come in early, before class started. I gave her something small to help with in the room, just to make sure it did not feel like I was handing her something for nothing. That mattered to me. And it mattered to her, too. But then, it happened again. A different reason. Then again, something else. And after a while, I started to notice this was not just a moment anymore. It was becoming a pattern. And that is when it got heavy for me. Because now, it was not just about helping. Now I had to think about my position, the rules I was supposed to follow, and what this was turning into. I had to stop and ask myself, am I helping her, or am I becoming something she is starting to depend on? And that is not an easy place to stand. Because people who are recovering, they are already fighting one dependency. And sometimes, without even realizing it, that dependency does not disappear. It just shifts. It finds somewhere else to land. And I could see that starting to happen. So I had to talk to her. Not as someone judging her, but as someone who wanted her to stand on her own. I told her, "I know this is not easy. I know you are trying. But I cannot keep doing this." She looked at me, quietly. I said, "You already fought your way out of one thing. You cannot replace it with another. And I cannot be that for you." That was not easy to say, but it needed to be said. Because she had something. She had skill. Real skill. The kind that does not come overnight. And I needed her to see that, and lean into that, instead of leaning on me. And over time, things shifted. Not fast, not perfect, but steady. She kept coming, kept working, kept trying. And eventually, she found a job, right there in the center, cleaning. It was not sewing, but it was hers. She earned it, she kept it, and she stood on it. And sometimes, that is where it starts. Not where you want to be, but where you can stand on your own. And that matters more than people think. I believe I did the right thing, but let me ask you something. Have you ever done something like that and still felt a little guilty afterward? Even when you knew, were you doing the right thing? If you like my channel, subscribe, hit that like button, and go make something today and be proud of yourself. Until then, I will see you next week. Oh, hold on. I almost forgot. I've got to do this right. I would like for you to make something, repair something, do something good in your community, and be proud of it.